Okay, guys. So you should turn your book to page 313, and we're going to learn about equivalent ratios and rates. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first problem, and then I'll give you further instructions. So it says, Andrea spent $2 for 2 adult tickets to the Dallas Zoo. So you can see that right here. The next month, she ended up paying $52 for 4 tickets. So we're gonna find did she spend the same amount per ticket each time. So number 1 says, express the relationship between the total cost and the number of tickets for each situation, for each one of these, as a rate in fraction form. So I want you to pause the video and see if you can write 2 rates in the form of a fraction. Okay, so now you should have the answer by now, so I'm going to show you. So the first one should be written as $26 over 2 tickets. Okay, because it said it wanted cost 2 tickets. The second one is $52 for 4 tickets. Okay, so those are our 2 rates in the form of a fraction. Number 2 says, we need to compare the relationship between the numerators of each rate in exercise 1. And we're also going to compare the relationship between the denominators of these rates. So in other words, write this down. 26 over 2, 52 over 4. So it wants you to look at the relationship between the numerators and the denominators. So I want you to pause the video and see if you can tell me what that relationship is. Okay, so now you should have kind of thought of a relationship. So the relationship they're looking for is, and I would start with the denominators because it's easier to see. The relationship is that 4 is 2 times of 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So the top, what I can do is check to see if it has the same relationship. Is 52 2 times the amount of 26? Well, let's work it out. Yes, it is. So the relationship is that this rate is 2 times the amount of this rate. So it's double. Okay? All right, number 3. It says to compare the unit cost. So remember, unit cost is just the same thing as unit rate. Sorry, misspelled that. Unit rate. So what I want you to do is find the unit rate for 26 over 2 and the unit rate for 52 over 4. So go ahead and pause the video and find the unit rates. Okay, so the unit rates for the first one would be how many for 1 ticket? Well, we divide by 2, so we get $13 for 1 ticket. Let's do the same thing for this one. We want to know 1 ticket, so we're going to divide by 4. So 52 divided by 4 is also 13. Okay, so it's the unit rate. Notice that the unit rates are the same. Okay, so now go ahead, you can answer number 4. Did Andrea spend the same amount per ticket each time? So pause the video and write down your answer. Make sure to explain. Okay, so did she spend the same amount per ticket? Yes. Because she spent $13 per ticket each time, right? She spent $13 per ticket each time. Okay, so notice that we were checking to see if these two ratios are equal. And we did that by looking at two different methods. We looked at the relationship between the numerators and denominators. So we looked at scale factor. Or we looked at their unit cost. How much for one? And we saw that they have the same thing. So we figured out that these two ratios or rates are equal. So that's what we're going to continue in this lesson. So let's start with unit rates. Okay, so you can see it's what we did here. 26 tickets over 2. We divided by 2 and found that it's $13 for one. Same thing for the $52 for 4 tickets. We divided by 4 and we get 13 over 1. So we know that the rates have the same unit rate, so they are equal. So let's look at some examples. So here we're going to figure out, is 15 pounds in 5 weeks equal to 12 pounds in 3 weeks? And we're going to do that by looking at the unit rates. So we start with 15 over 5. We want to find 1 week. So for this one, we're going to divide by 5. So we get 3 pounds for 1 week. For this one over here, we divide by 3. So we get 4 pounds for 1 week. So the unit rates are not equal. So that tells me that they are not equivalent. 15 pounds in 5 weeks is not equal to 12 pounds in 3 weeks. Let's look at this one. We're going to check if 3 shirts for $21 is equal to 5 shirts for $35. So we write our fraction. We divide by 3 so that we can find that $7 is for 1 shirt. Over here we have $35 over 5. We divide by 5. And we also find that $7 for 1 shirt. So notice that this time the unit rates are equal. So that means that these two rates are equal. Okay, so you're going to stop the video here, pause it, so that you can try A and B. And you're going to work it out over here. Okay, so if you're watching this, that means you are done. So now we're going to check our answers. So let's start with A. So we're comparing 36 shirts, I'm going to put S for shirts, to 3 boxes. I'll put 3, B for box. This is a 6, and this is a B. So I'm going to find how much for 1 box. Okay, well, to find 1 box, I'm going to divide by 3. Well, 36 divided by 3 is 12 shirts. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing for 60 over 6. 60 shirts in 6 boxes. So I want to find 1 box. So I'm going to divide by 6. I get 10 shirts. Our unit rates are not equal. Up here we have 12 shirts in 1 box. Here I have 10 shirts in 1 box. So for A, it's a no. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Now let's look at B. Okay, B says 42 flowers in 7 vases. So 42 flowers in 7 vases. So let's find for 1 vase. Well, we're going to simplify by 7. Oops. So 42 divided by 7 is 6 flowers. Okay, we're going to do the next one. 54 flowers in 9 vases. So I need to find one vase. I'm going to divide by 9. So I get 6 flowers. So this time we do have the same unit rate. So my answer is yes. Alright. Alright, let's go to the next page. So here we're going to, instead of looking at unit rates, we're going to look at equivalent fractions. Okay? By using equivalent fractions, we can also see if they're equal. Sorry, hold on. Okay, so this is how equivalent fractions look like. So we're going to look at 3 baskets out of 7 attempts. We're going to see if it's equal to 9 baskets out of 4 attempts. Okay, so we're going to write them as a fraction. 3 baskets over 7. Is it equal, that's why there's a little question mark, to 9 over 14? So we're going to look at the numerators first. The relationship between 3 and 9 is that it's times 3. Now let's look at the denominators. The relationship between 7 and 14 is that it's times 2. So notice that these scale factors, remember these are called scale factors, are not equal. It's not the same. So that means that these fractions are not equal, so the rates are not equal. Okay? They have to have the same scale factor. So go ahead and pause it and try C. Okay, so C should look like this. We're comparing scissors, so I'm going to put scissors, to staples. Okay. So the first one is 10 scissors for 6 staples. Is it equal to 5 scissors, 2 staplers? Okay, well notice here this time that it decreased. So that means I'm going to divide. So what am I going to divide 10 by to get 5? 2. And let's check this one. What am I going to divide 6 to get 2? 3. Are the scale factors the same? No, they are not. So are they equal? No. Okay, they don't have the same scale factor. And it's okay if you have to divide or multiply. Okay, so that leads us to their new vocabulary word, proportion. So a proportion is an equation that states 2 ratios or rates are equal. By determining that the 2 ratios or rates are equivalent, you're saying that they form a proportion. So this is not a proportion because they're not equal. So let's see if we can find one that is. Okay, this video is going to end here, but it is not the end of the lesson. I just have to make another one. So I'm going to stop it, then you're going to go back to your agenda and click on part 2 so you can continue the lesson.